Confession. When I'm stressed and when my life is out of balance, I have a tendency to soothe myself with sugary and fatty foods. I live to eat anyway, so add stress to the mix and my cravings for all my favorite foods are multiplied by 20. I also love to sleep, and I naturally need about 9 hours of sleep anyway. And the older I get, the more essential it is for me to actually make sure that I get it. But when I'm really stressed, sometimes it feels like the only thing that shuts off my noisy, chaotic brain and allows me to feel any peace in those moments is to check out into a deep coma-like sleep. And I can do it in a heartbeat. And it's the way that I learned to cope, and I've done it for many years. Yet as I've grown and developed and I learned to take back my power in my own life, I began to awaken to the truth of how destructive the nature of stress is in my life. And I decided that I was finally done with giving into the bad habits that accompanied my stress. My unhealthy ways of coping were no longer serving me, and I was determined to change them once and for all. I finally got sick and tired enough of being sick and tired, and I wanted out of the vicious cycle. I decided I was tired of letting my stress run me, and I was determined to interrupt it and replace my negative habits with new, healthier ones that aligned with the life that I wanted to be living and aligned with the way that I wanted to feel every day. And changing bad habits doesn't come easy, as you all know, and some days are harder than others, but it's so worth the effort because life is so much more enjoyable when we can feel freedom from the bondage of stress-induced bad habits. All of us experience stress on a daily basis because it's just part of life. But we're often so accustomed to being stressed out all the time that it becomes our normal, and we don't recognize that we're reacting out of stress with our unhealthy and destructive coping mechanisms. And then we don't realize the effect that it has on our bodies and our lives. So what's your unhealthy go-to when you're stressed? We have all got those unique ways to cope, and we resort to them like following that well-worn path that we know so well. We don't even have to think about it. We just do it in reaction. You may eat your stress too, or anesthetize yourself with sleep, or maybe you take the edge off with alcohol or sex or porn, or even calm yourself by scrolling through social media or online shopping. You may even check out in front of the TV or work too much or exercise too much. Whatever you do that has become somewhat of an addiction, it's important that you become mindful of it. Begin to notice how often you really do feel stressed and how you react to it with those habits. Because the truth is, stress isn't something that any of us have to allow to control us and to control our lives. It shouldn't be running our lives, and we can take back our power from it and our power over the stress in our lives. We are very capable of breaking free from the trap of the unhealthy habits that accompany stress. When we realize the havoc that stress really is wreaking on our bodies and our minds and our spirits, hopefully we will decide to start standing up to it. We're ready to break free from its grips when we get sick and tired enough of feeling sick and tired. Stress is a thief. It steals life, peace, and health from us in every way. It robs us of the life that we were intended to live. And there is another way to live without being controlled by stress and without staying in bondage to seeking relief in our little addictions. Decide today that you're done with stress running your life and you're ready to take back your power and break free from the negative habits that steal life from you and simply make you feel rotten. It's time to stop settling for anesthetizing yourself, for checking out, and for feeding yourself with whatever doesn't offer you what you want and need most in your life. It's time to take your power back and reclaim your life. Awaken to how stress is robbing you and take an honest look at what really needs to change. Just start with noticing it and then take one small step to shift it. One small step to shift it in a positive direction. And you know what? It's okay to ask for help if it feels too overwhelming and out of control for you. I had to ask for help too, and it made all the difference in the world. But decide you're going to do something different because it's time to stop surviving and start thriving. If you're ready to take back your power and reclaim your life from stress and from the negative habits that control you, I'd love to help you do that. You can email me at conniej at arisecounselingandcoaching.com, and I'd love to coach you to soar in a life you love.